Hello and welcome to the general collective reading for the total solar eclipse new moon in Aries for the 8th of April 2024 New Zealand time. The following spread is called the Celtic Cross Tarot spread. It's a deep dive with truth to the core. It covers a great deal of information. I'm making this spread available for personal readings in line with the new moon and total solar eclipse in Aries on the 8th of April. I'll explain the options further at the end of the collective reading. So if you like this layout and the depth of the message, stick around to the end to find out more. Card position 1 is the present, the self, the current situation, the current state of mind, the current moment in time. In this position we have the King of Swords. Your current state of mind is firm in your truth, grounded in your truth. Yet this intelligence, knowledge and wisdom you hold does not bring you joy. There is untapped potential of the emotional realm. You've been all up in your mind and neglecting your heart's intelligence within this, whatever this might be for you. Bring forth your heart and mind in unison, and what you hold within your mind, within your all-knowing, will come to light in a new way forwards. In card position 2, we've got the problem, the challenge, what requires resolving to make progress forwards. And in this position we have the 9 of Cups. There's a heart blockage, a stubborn energy around indulgence, something that perhaps you do not want to give up. It's more of an addiction, a habit, or a comfortable way of knowing, doing and being. It's something you might have to give up, forego or do without in order for your heart and mind to come together. For now, they remain apart, the result of a fear attached to this. Card position 3 relates to the past events, how they shaped the current situation, past influences contributing to current state of affairs. And in this position we have the 8 of Swords. There are past experiences here that have shaped the way you see, or as the case appears to be here, you do not see. This may be your upbringing and the exposure of the environments you were placed within, the people, places and things that shaped your lens of perception, your view of the world, your values and beliefs. This holds you in a closed mindset, believing what you were taught as gospel, as truth. For example, suppose you have a fear of bees because you were cautioned as a young child to avoid bees, to stay clear of bees because they sting, and to hold still like a statue in fear should a bee come near you. This is what you were taught, so this is what you believe, and forevermore bees are now the enemy worthy of fear. Or perhaps you were stung by one bee, so now all bees are dangerous. You remained closed off to believe anything else as truth because your experience of bees was to fear the bees. End of story. Contrary to your beliefs about bees are the facts. Bees work hard. Bees are vital to the ecosystem. Bees provide us honey. Some bees don't even have stingers at all. Others have small weak stingers and cannot sting. To allow this information in, to challenge your current paradigm, you have to be open to possibilities beyond what you hold to be true. Open yourself up to greater potential, to the realization that not everything we are taught is factual and is often impressed upon us due to others' fears. Release yourself from these burdens and surrender to infinite potential and possibilities, to allow your heart and mind to meet in the middle and reconnect as they once did before you were heavily impressed upon in childhood and beyond. Heal the wounds of your past. Card position number 4, the future. A likely turn of events, short-term happenings, not the outcome or the resolution. In this position we have the Queen of Wands. Oh, body shivers, teary eyeballs are the senses igniting, of having done the work and opening yourself up to a whole new world. Your passions are ignited. The feminine aspects of the joy the path ahead brings is truly wonderful. magical. Your connection to self and beyond has grown exponentially. You may just find you are seen and heard differently. You're received well by others because they sense this open, vulnerable connection from your being that differs to before, from the past. You're a beacon of light to others, and what attracts to the light? Moths. What do moths symbolise? Transformation. Your transformation is attracting seekers to your light. You've come from the shadows to the light, a never-ending journey. Your experience within that is of great support, perhaps even refuge to others seeking their own answers from within. Card position 5, the conscious. What you're focused on, where your mind is, goals and desires regarding the situation, what your assumptions are. And in this position we have the Hermit. You're all about the inner work. You are consciously, intentionally focusing on transformation, shifting the paradigm, changing your mindset from closed to open. Your conscious goals and desires here are to break free of the self-imposed mind prison. You're taking responsibility for what you experienced and where it has led you in life. You are becoming the teacher sought by the seeker, while never losing sight of yourself forevermore as a student, as a seeker. Your future is bright, your shadows lead you to the light, and you are no longer held captive in fear of reaching the shadows and sprinkle that golden light upon them for a transformative experience. Enlightened awareness. Body shivers are a telltale sign of your progression. Card position number 6, the unconscious. What's truly driving the situation? Feelings, belief, values. You may not even understand yet a surprising hidden influence. In this card position we have the Fool. What you truly deeply want is exactly what is holding you back. You want to break free, yet there's a fear of the unknown. You want to take a new path, yet there is comfort in what you do know. It's easier to hold on to what you learned to be true. It's hard to trust in something bigger than your current experience. It's the paradox of staying in one world of thought than to jump through the hoop into a new world of thought. Even the thought of another way is unthinkable. Anchor into that deep desire to break free. Open your mind up to infinite possibilities, potential, and opportunities. Break free from the boxy thinking, the boxed lifestyle. Experience the vastness of time and space. You only need find a large green space to lay down and look up to the heavens, or stand atop a mountain, or look to where the ocean meets the sky, giving the sense of how big the universe is. It is beyond comprehension, yet so too is our potential and possibility. Card position number 7, your influence. How you see yourself, how your perception of self influences how the situation plays out, what beliefs you carry about yourself. Do you expand yourself or limit yourself? And in this position we have the Empress and the Ten of Wands. In one sense, you absolutely expand yourself through a nourishing, nurturing nature, present here within the Empress. Yet on the other hand, you tend to overwork, overdo, overwhelm, overburden yourself, as seen in the Ten of Wands. Burnout may be a very real part of your experience. Attempts to counteract this take place through self-care, self-compassion, self-love. The scales tip back and forth here. The zodiacal sign of Libra comes to mind, ruled by Venus, as seen in the symbolism on the heart-shaped shield of the Empress. Forever tipping the scales from one direction to the other, out of balance, in balance, out of balance again, repeating this in cycles. You may recognise this within yourself. You certainly hold the belief of the importance of self-nourishment and care. It seems you may also hold yourself accountable, depending on how hard you work, working yourself to the bone. So in one aspect you have an expansive, beautiful, compassionate nature for yourself and others, nature and the living world. Yet there's also a limiting belief in how hard you must work to be accepted, acknowledged and seen as worthy. Your worth is not based upon your willingness to work yourself into an early grave. Your empress-like nature, balanced with a fair and just work-life balance, however that looks for you, and without concern for judgment from others, that's what's important. And you are worthy of your deepest heart's desires without fear of judgment from others. Outside judgments are not justified and should not count towards what you know to be true of you to your core, nor do they deserve any kind of negative internal response or reaction to your belief in your self-worth. You are worthy. Card position number 8, external influence. The world around you and how it affects the situation, the social and emotional environment you are operating in, how others perceive you. And in this position, we have the Star and the Three of Cups. We already touched on outside influences within your influence. However, here we have the outside as a catalyst to your healing, to making all your wishes come true. Everything from the external world has an impact upon you, as a mirror to go within and seek the answers, to find the unconscious shadows within and bring them to the light. It's an emotional journey, yet it has greater purpose than may be realised when in the thick of the experience. Every person, place or thing on your path has been purposeful in leading you to learn, heal and grow, to bring your dreams to reality. It's a work in progress, and you are progressing well. Even if this is largely played out unconsciously, you are making great progress. Of course, if this is within your conscious awareness, the process is much more fluid. All of this is leading you to your spirit tribe, your ride or die people. You may find some people leave your life, yet you also discover those whom are worthy of your time and presence, and vice versa. It's better to have a few faithful friends than a lot of fake friends. Your social circle is becoming much more personal, faithful, joyful. Card position number 9, hopes and fears. What you secretly desire, what you may be trying to avoid, what we fear the most is often what we truly have been hoping for. In this card position we have the 8 of Pentacles. You're hoping that all the work you put in here on yourself will pay off. You fear that it's going nowhere, even though there is evidence to the contrary. The ego slips its old doubtful sounds back into the mind. Fear not, there is absolutely no doubt that you are putting the work in here, and you continue to put the work in. You are focused and committed. You are making great progress. Remember, it's a marathon, not a sprint. The more work you put in here over time, the greater the gains in the long term. Patience is key. And finally, we have card position number 10, the outcome, the likely resolution. And in this card position, we have death. With endings come new beginnings. It's time, it's needed, it's necessary. This is the end of things that no longer serve you, those people, places and things where the lessons have been learnt, and it's time for something new. People, places and things have been moved purposely to support your growth and learning. Nonetheless, endings bring with them grief for what was and what no longer is. There will be tears already shed, tears being shed, and tears still yet to be shed. It's all part of the healing process. Feel it to heal it, breathe through it to allow the energy to flow and release. It's been a hard push through of so much in your life experience, especially the last 8 to 9 months, years, seasons or cycles. The worst of it is over now, the hardest part is through. Now you birth anew. With that comes new challenges. Embrace the changes and continue on your path, open and ready, willing and able to learn, heal and grow, going with the flow rather than fighting against it. You have infinite potential. This is a wonderful opportunity open to create the life of your greatest heart's dreams and desires. Make the most of this opportunity. And now we come to further analysis. If we look to card position number 4, the future with the Queen of Wands, and to the outcome, then the card of position number 10 and the Death card, this shows the near future as very favourable to the outcome. The Queen of Wands in your near future shows deep growth and transformation. The process of the deep transformation places you well for when an ending comes and a new beginning. Had life just continued as it was without any deep transformation, when the time came for an ending and a new beginning, the preparation would just not be there. Thankfully, that's not the case. You are well prepared for this. Furthermore, if we look to card position number 5, the conscious, the hermit, and card position number 6, the unconscious, the fool. Both the hermit and the fool cards speak of wanting to break free, wanting a new path, wanting to get to the bottom of what's been holding you back. These two things align and are going to take you to the ultimate outcome. And last but not least, we look to, again, the card 6, the unconscious, the fool, and card number 9, the position of hopes and fears, and we had the 8 of Pentacles there. The unconscious beliefs that are creating the hopes and fears here are the paradox of being excited for the unknown, but also fearing the unknown and feeling comfortable in the known. However, there is a work ethic here that is unwavering. Regardless of this fear, there is no stopping you from continuing to do the work, to make progress, even in the unknown. There's a deep need and desire here for something more, and it holds you true to your path. Your work ethic is almost a distraction from thinking about the unknown and just doing the work with a trust, but a trust and avoidance. It's an interesting mix. Yet it sees you through and it gets you to where you need to go. So that's a close to the collective reading for the total solar eclipse. And now we move into the Celtic cross personal reading information and introductory offer. So if you're interested in that, then stick around. So you'll receive your reading just as you've seen this presented to you, where you'll obviously have a visual of the card that's being read to, and I'll speak to that from my notes. So when I intuit the reading, I do it through the written word. That seems to be my strength, and so then when I present it to you, I'm bringing it to you from the written word into these videos, and with the image obviously of the cards for your understanding really. So I've broken the Celtic Cross Tarot spread down into 4 tiers. Tier 1 is the bronze standard, and it includes cards positions 1 to 4. So that includes the present, the self, card 2, the problem, card 3, the past, and card 4 of the future, or the near future. The times vary, so there is no time limit for the reading. It just depends on what comes through, basically. And tier 1 is at the greatest value of $40, and there is the option to extend to the next tier or to tier 2, anywhere from tier 2 to tier 4 basically. So I guess tier 1 can, for some, if you prefer just to try it out first, might be the best option, and then there's always the option to extend that to further tiers. However, I do recommend that if you're going to take that up, that you do that within 2 weeks of the reading actually being delivered to you, because otherwise it just means that I'll end up sort of losing sight of the energies, and it just might not be quite as beneficial to you. So there's that option. That, of course, would then you'd initially pay the $40 for the first tier, and then anything over and above that for the next tier to make up to the cost of that tier. So, for example, if you wanted to go just to tier 2, which is $60, then you've already paid the $40, so you would just pay another $20 on top of that. Which leads me into tier 2, which I have named the silver standard. So in tier 2, you obviously get all of tier 1, and then on top of that you get cards position 5, which is the conscious, and card position 6, which is the unconscious, and it just delves a little bit deeper into where your mind is in the conscious and in the unconscious, those things that we might not be so aware of that can be underlying to the situation. Again, there's no time limit. The reading varies, and it just depends on what cards come out and how long or how much information comes with that as to the reading. And this tier is priced at $60. And again, there's also the option to add on to that within that 2-week mark of when you have received the reading, to if you wanted to increase to tier 3 or tier 4. And then once again, if you're at tier 2 and that's $60, and then you wanted to move to tier 3, that would be another $40 added to the cost. However, there is a deal going that I will explain once I get through all the tiers. Which leads me to tier 3, and this I have called the gold standard. So tier 3 is the entire Celtic Tarot spread, so that's from cards 1 to 10. As you've seen in this reading that I've just done for the general collective, obviously it wouldn't be quite the same. It would be personalised to you. So that spread is $100, and again you can have that spread done, and then if you get to the end of that spread and you would like further information, then that can also be increased to the 4th tier, which would be at an extra cost of $20. And again, it would have to be within that 2-week time frame in order for me to still be able to pick up on those energies and go over the notes without because it would still be fresh in my mind, rather than if it was a month later and I had to go back over the notes, I would have to spend a lot of time with the notes to really remember that, to then continue on the reading. Whereas if it's done within that sort of shorter time span, then it's not taking quite as much energy and resources as what it would otherwise. So hopefully that makes sense, because it does take a lot of time and energy, so it's just trying to really preserve that energy. And then we have tier 4, which I've called the diamond standard, and this is basically you get everything. So other than the fact that you're obviously getting the entire Celtic Tarot spread, cards 1 to 10, on top of that I'm also doing an further analysis of certain cards that can give more information, which I've done in the collective reading, which hopefully gives you a bit of an insight into that, where you look at there's a couple of cards that or a few different cards that when you place them together can tell a bit more of the story. So it just adds to the story basically, and so that's that one is $120, and this is all not obviously, depending on where you are. This is all in the New Zealand dollar, so 120 New Zealand dollars, or 100 New Zealand dollars if you're wanting tier 3, $60 New Zealand for tier 2, and $40 New Zealand for tier 1. Right, now furthermore into the introductory offer, which is that I am putting a special on from the 8th of April under the new moon and the total solar eclipse energy, of 50% off tiers 3 and 4, so that decreases the price of tier 4 from $120 to $60, and the price of tier 3 from $100 to $50. So, I mean, the difference between tier 2 at $40 and tier 3 at $50, and the difference in what you get, I think makes it worth it, but obviously it's completely up to you. And in this, so that runs until the 8th of May, and of course, it also stands that if you wanted to do tier 1 or 2 and then move up a tier, then if you're moving under the special, if you're moving from tier 2 to 3, it's only an extra $10. So that's until the 8th of April. So if you would like to book in, you can send me a direct message, or you can contact me through my email, which is harmoniouslivingtarot@gmail.com. Thank you all for being here. Sending you all my best blessed wishes under this new moon total solar eclipse. Until next time, ka kite anō. See you again.